So this is a story walk around my yard of the next morning after Saturday, October 5th fires north of Arnegard. Started from a power line break-in due west northwest of me, about a mile and a half maybe. And we're looking right now to the northwest. My driveway goes down a half mile. I got a lot of neighbors and trailer houses, double wides. This lady's shed caught on fire a little bit inside and kind of melted the siding on the back side of her house. That flared up the middle of the day. We had to come over and actually get it out again. There's some guys with some back trucks with water. So the wee hours of the morning, about 2 a.m., we woke up from the wind, and I'm just going to kind of do a walk around as I go here, but my wife noticed something out to the west. Didn't look right, you know, kind of a glow. Sometimes we see some oil well flares. I looked out and I was like, that's a fire. And it didn't look real far away, but hard to tell in the middle of the night. So I cruised up to the County Road 29, took a right, and went about 300 yards, and the fire was getting ready to cross the road. And basically I made a bunch of calls, came back, got my family, got my other family, neighbors up across the road, ditch, and got my family to town. I came and just kind of started watching, and the wind actually kind of switched from the southwest when I first got up and saw the fire to out of the west and more northwest, which switched it and made the fire come directly towards my place. And right out here, probably about 150 yards out ish, is when I got out of here. The smoke just came in so thick it was like a black wall. So I knew my place was gonna get hit. I figured I was coming back to no house. You can see where it got into all my trees. I mean, right up to my driveway coming in here. You can see the wind direction basically here as it cut in front of my house. They did pretty good about stopping this thing before it got up too far. All my neighbors out here got super lucky that this thing did not jump this road. It was burnt up to this road all the way coming into my yard. Do a little walk around here coming into my place. You can see kind of the wind direction headed towards the southeast right there, right by my house, right by this huge tree. Just annihilated my shelter belts. On the back west side of my house, fire got within probably 15 feet or so. Got really close here on the northwest corner, right up to my deck. Luckily this tree, a lot of the leaves are pretty green on this, so they kind of burnt a little bit, but they didn't catch on fire. Fire was right up to my deck. A couple little bird marks at the bottom of the posts. Got this bottom step railing. Fire department, I think, just ripped that railing off because it was catching on fire there. Basically right up into this little area they got it put out. Kind of melted a little bit of my vinyl siding on that window, just deforming it a little bit, but my whole yard, I had two outbuildings there, just old, more or less sentimental buildings from my great-grandparents homesteading this place in 1906. Kids' trampoline didn't fare well. So this is I had about a 28 by 30 foot garage here. Of course, I just painted this summer. So that was just kind of an old beater Chevy for hauling junk around my yard. I had a couple custom trucks in here. 05 Duramax, 16-inch lift on 42s, bunch of custom parts. Didn't fare so well. Air compressor for my shop. I have that airline ran underground up to my main shop. Old chimney here. Was running water from my dad's over, putting out hot spots all day yesterday, and I had another hookup here. A lot of people brought hoses, neighbors and stuff. Appreciate all the help, guys. This was another truck here, custom truck I was building, off-road truck. Full roll cage, back half, long travel, coilovers. 6-liter LS turboed. A lot of forged parts in there. Nice seats. I mean, not a cheap build. Mower didn't fare well. All the cats survived. This was just an old cab I was using for some parts. It didn't really get past my gravel there. It did a little bit and kind of got into my dad's. The trees right before my dad's house. But they got that stopped before it got to his place too. Came up on the west side of my shop a little bit in here. Luckily that shop was metal. Came up right against this building here. I use this I do some sandblasting stuff in here. I don't know how this didn't go up. This wood is old. It was right up basically to it. It was more so dirt right there, but getting up to the northwest corner, you know, I've honestly just had a bunch of junk up in here. Metal from fixing people's vehicles and throwing junk out. And just annihilated all my trees. Right up to this building too. Right up to the closed trailer here. I don't know how it didn't do more here than it did. The firefighters were not at my yard when I left, but I was told that they were dousing my house. I don't know how else it didn't go up. Came through all my trees up here on the north side, by all these bins, went right underneath my boat. It did melt some of the bottom of my boat. Fiberglass bottom there. I had an old building here that had a bunch of lumber stored in it, and then there was an old wood pile here that was junk wood. And of course that was sitting close to my 1,000-gallon propane tank, which is still hissing this morning. So that all burnt up. I mean, you can see where the fire kind of stopped over there, probably about 250, 300 yards from my place there. They kind of got it put out here I got a little pond right here where all these cattails are. So we were working on putting hot spots out, flare-ups all day yesterday. Still a little bit of smoke over there. Right up to the back of my shop here. You can see where it kind of discolored the shop there underneath that vent. I got some ventilation in there for some of my business stuff. Pretty much melted that stuff. That's about it for my yard. Appreciate all the firefighters keeping an eye on everything all night and saving the old house.